Um, I'm going to be reading out of 2 Thessalonians, and the reason is because I want to give everybody a good understanding of how the one true God shows and pops up in almost every culture and every story. I gave you that with the Mesopotamia Gilgamesh thing, where the one true God had them destroy each other's off, and which was the end of that civilization, you know, whatever had happened because of the one true God. I read scriptures for all those that are Israelites or Hebrew and into the Muslim faith, and even those that are in the Muslim faith to have good understanding that these are the things that were even said, and the trickery behind that was said in those scriptures about the Israelites and the Hebrews and the tribes and Yeshua and Moses, and why they had the revelations and only it was up for them to let you know. But even with the fallen angels pretending to be whoever, stating these things, because there's always a truth and a lie. That's how Satan works. So with all that being said, and sorry for the thing, I live in Manhattan, but with all that being said, all right, they always use they did this, they parted the sea, they helped them do that, they. For one, we already know for a fact that no angel underneath Yahweh brags or boasts or says anything about they. They always give recognition to Yahweh. And it was Yahweh anyway, there's no angels involved. So anybody who falls for that deception, you already know it's a great deceit. So I wanted to point that out. That was the whole reading for those things and why I did it. Yesterday I was leaving downtown Brooklyn coming home, hit Borough Hall, catch the 6 train. Boom. So I run into some Jehovah's Witnesses that are downstairs by the subway platform, and I go to them and I talk to them and I ask them if they knew that the letter J was only 500 years old. He said no. He seen my fringes. He said, "Oh, you Hebrew?" I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Since you know that that religion was whatever." And then I started teaching him stuff. He comes out and says, "Yeah, but you know this isn't about race." I never even said anything about race. But since you want to bring that up, because he was from India, his wife was Caucasian, they had a daughter. So they're listening, and as he's listening, see, you understand one thing. People, almost everybody from India, Bangladesh, whoever, they already know where they're from. They know they're Hamitic, and they know that they came from Cain. They know that for a fact. They know the sign on the hair was straight hair and it was them. They know the Japanese and Asians came from them, and Japanese and Chinese people know that Lithuanians and so on and so forth also came out of them. They know that part of the world. So see, you guys don't know. And when somebody knows something, they can have an advantage over you. This is why they say knowledge is power. So they know that. So when I'm talking to him, I know that he knows the haplogroups and the whole 9 yards. So that's the reason why he said race or whatever. But you have to believe that these are people, accept these are people the same way you want God, Yahweh and Yeshua to accept you. But he wasn't going for it. He threw in Abraham was the father of all nations. How can Abraham be the father of all nations? Yes, he was. That is very true. But when it got down to Jacob, that's when Rebecca and the 2 nations and this split off. All right. So bam, it tells you right there also. But you know what? He said, yeah, you're right. So even with all that being said, his wife took the chair, got upset, and went on the other side. I kindly asked her. I said, so I see that you're upset. So if I'm asking you a question, you can't accept those people? She said, no, I don't have to accept anything. They're fine. If you don't accept anything, all right, except for Yeshua, that's the same grace and kindness that he's going to give you back. He tells you in the scriptures about treating everybody equal because you're going to get treated the same. If you're walking and marching around and you did all these things that accepted the Ashkenazi and you still know that means you're part of a lie and you're deceived and you're still underneath the spell. Because there's no way in the world that a group of people can fashion and fool the whole world and you still accept it even after finding out the truth. So with that being said, Thessalonians chapter 2. Now concerning the coming of the Lord Yeshua the Messiah being gathered together to him, we ask you, brothers, not to quickly be shaken in mind or alarmed, either by spirit or spoken word or letter, seeming to be from us to the effect the day of the Lord has come. Let no one deceive you in any way, for the day will come unless the rebellion comes first, that the man of the lawless one is revealed, and the son of destruction, who opposes and exalted himself over every so-called God, object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. Do you remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things, and you know what is restraining him now, so that he may be revealed in his time? And that is the fact that the word and the spirit of Yahweh and the word that the high priest, our Lord, the Messiah, had taught. So with all his people and them still around, and the word still around, you know, he can't really reveal his head. For the mystery of the lawless one is already at work. What is the mystery of the lawless one? That it was already at work back then, that Yeshua talked about. The separation, the socialism, the material things, the barter and trade, the storing stuff in the storehouse. He was very big on that. Those bring characteristics of stealing, not caring. All right, you either have to be this way and accept this rule, accept this religion, accept this lie, or you're not going to eat, or you're not going to be able to buy, sell, or trade. And this is going on today, big time. I'm caught up in something right now where the whole thing is one big lie, and you actually got officials lying and not caring. And it's all, and that separation has to do with the hate of racial discrimination, religious discrimination, and that's how this world is. So I'm going to break down the etymology of this real quick. If everything has been built from the beginning with the USA on values, ethics, God's laws, and morals, and everything has been wiped out clean where none of that exists, and gay rights have been put in, God has been taken out, and gays actually got more rights than somebody being called a cracker or a nigger or a chink or a wetback or a spick. So I'm being serious, and so I want you to really, really, really iterate and think very hard on what I just said. Because all of these bywords and racial names have been called throughout centuries and time to people. But if you do that one thing that replaces God and call somebody or do something that is gayism, all right, towards someone, you get more trouble than anything else that has been going on for the world that actually has the same meaning as doing something towards somebody that's gay, which is against the law of God. So when you put perverse things as good and the good things as perverse, you already know that is way, way times of Noah and Sodom and Gomorrah. And the lawless one will be revealed, to whom the Lord Yeshua will kill with the breath of his mouth and bring nothing by the appearance of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with the power and false signs and wonders. Is the activity of Satan. What nation or race or whoever take on the characteristics and activity of Satan and have a bunch of signs and wonders like Hollywood and power and all this other stuff, and with all the wicked deception for those who perish because they refuse to love the truth and to be saved. Therefore, God sends them a very strong deception so that they may believe what is false. What is the strong deception? Who has fashioned this earth? Who has taken land? Who has fooled the earth? Who has made them give them money to feel as if? And we'll find out everything is a lie. How many other lies that we found out that the history isn't actually what it is? In order that all may be all right, I'm going to start right here. Therefore, God sends them a strong delusion so that they may believe what is false, in order that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, who had pleasure in unrighteousness, who did not believe the truth and who had pleasure in unrighteousness. How many times and what do we see today? We see more perverse, more stuff going on. And if you're not a part of that perverse stuff, you're not cool. Look at the Kim Kardashian thing. If you're not doing anything perverse or unrighteousness, guess what? You're not cool. You're not part of it. Dead serious, and we've seen it more and more. And it said it right here. But we ought to also give thanks to the Yahweh for you, brothers, beloved by the Lord, because Yahweh chose you from the beginning to be saved through sanctifications by the Spirit in the belief in the truth, To this called you through our gospel, so that you may obtain the glory of our Lord Yeshua, the Messiah. So the brothers may stand firm and hold to traditions. Again, so the brothers may stand firm and hold to the traditions that you were taught by us, either by the spoken word or by your letter. All right? By our spoken word and by our letter. Now may our Lord Yeshua, the Messiah, himself and our God, our Father. So let's read this again. Now may our Lord Yeshua the Messiah himself and Yahweh our Father, who loved us and gave us eternal comfort and good hope through grace. They separated the two. So for all of those who think that Yeshua is the God, Yeshua is the Lord, he is the Messiah, he is the high priest, Melchizedek, he told you that. All right, no, to take the replace or the rules of Melchizedek, I meant. Take that back, sorry. All right, and Yahweh is the one true God. All right, everything that manifests in heaven manifests on earth. So basically, we have to, just like all the other high priests back in the days, we have to go through our high priest, the Messiah, Yeshua, in order for Yahweh to even hear us. So now may our Lord Yeshua, the Messiah himself, and Yahweh, our Father, who loved us and gave us eternal comfort and good hope through graces, which is his kindness, comfort your hearts and establish them in every good work and word. In other words, every good work and word. All right, your actions, the things you do, every move you make, every breath you take, make sure that you're doing what you got to do. Don't think that you can just say, hey, I believe that he died on the cross and everything is going to be good because it's by grace. No, it just told you right here, by your works, your actions, and the words you speak. Another etymology of this is the scripture where it says, oh, Lord Yeshua, he's speaking in your name. And he said, guess what? If he's speaking in my name, that means that he's with us and not against us. But if he hands you a glass of water, that means that he's actually going to get the same reward because he did it by works. So what does that mean? That he's speaking of us, and then if he goes and he does it by works and shows that he believes and he knows who these people are by his actions, then he gets that same reward. Because he's not just talking about it, he's doing it and showing it. So that's it right there. And for those who have fell for the great deception, you need to wake up. If you're still in the deception, you've just gone and lost.